In many conversations, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, there often comes a moment when someone starts talking about their personal problems. Quickly, others join the discussion, and suddenly the entire conversation revolves around common difficulties and complaints. We're all familiar with this situation, be it in office meetings or even online. When we stop constantly talking about events in our lives, we open ourselves to a completely new world full of possibilities. We free ourselves from limitations and begin to see the world with fresh eyes. Think about it. If you're constantly talking about your problems, difficulties, and struggles, what are you really focusing on? You're directing your attention to scarcity, to limitations, to what you lack in life. But when you stop telling these stories and focus on something bigger than yourself, you start noticing the abundance around you. You discover opportunities and wonders that are hidden right in front of you. This is where the miracle happens. At this moment, you begin to connect to a source of power that most people don't even know exists. This is where a life full of joy, meaning, and significance begins. You might be thinking now, but what about the real problems in my life? What about the challenges I face? I'm not suggesting ignoring these things or pretending they don't exist, but I am suggesting stopping giving them such power over your life. I'm proposing to start seeing these challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and change. When we direct all our energy and attention to our problems, we give them the power to control us. We allow them to define our thoughts, feelings, actions, and before we realize it, we're stuck in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt that's hard to break out of. But when we focus on something inspiring, on what fills our life with meaning and significance, we begin to look at these problems differently. We start approaching them with curiosity, with a readiness to learn and grow. That's when real changes happen. We no longer see our difficulties as obstacles, but as opportunities. Then we turn to our inner strength and resilience and begin to build a life full of possibilities and potential. How do we stop fixating on what's happening in our lives and start focusing on something bigger? It all starts with a simple change in thinking. Instead of focusing on your problems, direct your attention to your dreams. Instead of complaining about what's going wrong, express gratitude for what's going well. Instead of seeking confirmation and support from others, develop a deep sense of self-respect and self-acceptance. And most importantly, start acting. Every day, do something that brings you closer to your goals, dreams, and highest aspirations, be it journaling, meditating, exercising, or just taking a few minutes to breathe deeply and focus. Make it your priority to invest in your growth and development. Here's the main point. When you focus on something bigger than yourself and immerse yourself in a sense of meaning and significance, you begin to attract amazing things into your life. You start noticing synchronicities and opportunities that were hidden before. You feel excitement and enthusiasm for the path ahead. And before you know it, the problems that seem so overwhelming take a back seat. They don't disappear completely, but they lose their power over you. They become just another part of your life, another thread in the rich and beautiful story you're creating. Let me ask you, how would your life change if you stopped talking about what's happening right now and started focusing on something bigger? What kind of person would you become? What difference could you make in this world? Take a minute, close your eyes, and imagine your future. See yourself as the confident, purposeful, and happy person you've always wanted to be. Feel the energy and enthusiasm that come from a life fully aligned with your values and passions. And now make a promise to yourself. A promise to stop focusing on what's happening in your life right now and instead direct your gaze to something bigger. Commit to taking a small step towards that future every day, even if it sometimes feels uncomfortable or difficult. This step can be as simple as a few minutes of quiet reflection in the morning or weekly time devoted to a hobby or passion. Perhaps it also means reaching out to someone you respect and asking for advice or support. Or it could be investing your time and energy in a cause that truly matters to you. Whatever it is, make it an integral part of your daily routine, as natural as breathing, eating, or sleeping. Because when you stop worrying about the current circumstances of your life and instead focus your attention on something bigger, many things will start falling into place. Remember those problems that once seemed so overwhelming. Trials, obstacles, or moments of self-doubt will no longer occupy the central place in your life. What will remain in your memory is the person you've become, the life you've built, and the impact you've made on the world. And you'll be grateful that you had the courage not to focus on your problems, but to direct your gaze to something bigger, even if it was sometimes difficult or scary. When you stop worrying about your current circumstances and start focusing on something bigger, you'll discover a source of strength within yourself that many don't even suspect exists. You'll begin to understand that you're not limited by your circumstances, your past, or your perceived weaknesses. Instead, you'll see yourself as the creator of your own reality. You'll understand that you have the power to direct your life in any direction you choose, through positive thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You'll understand that you have the power to direct your life in any direction you choose, through positive thoughts, beliefs, and actions. And when you start living from this inner sense of power and confidence, something incredible will happen. You'll start attracting people and opportunities into your life that reflect your new state. You'll start noticing synchronicities and happy coincidences everywhere that lead you to your higher goals and dreams. But it's not just about external changes. When you stop focusing on what's going wrong in your life and instead focus on something bigger, you experience a profound inner transformation. You experience a deep sense of peace and satisfaction because you're living in harmony with your true self. You feel joy and fulfillment that you couldn't even imagine, simply because you respect your own needs, desires, and passions. As you maintain this inner well-being, which attracts others to you as if by magic, people see you as a leader, a visionary, someone who boldly walks their own path and creates their own destiny. But let's be clear about one thing. Focusing on something bigger doesn't mean ignoring the realities of your life or pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations or neglecting your responsibilities. On the contrary, it means approaching challenges with greater clarity and purpose, which helps you handle life with more ease and calm. Instead of acting out of fear or reacting impulsively, you meet your problems with wisdom and understanding. From this inner clarity, you begin to manifest yourself in the world differently. You communicate from a place of authenticity and compassion, rather than from a place of judgment or criticism. You build relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Focusing on something bigger goes far beyond personal success. It initiates a wave of positivity and change that extends far beyond yourself. This is where the true power of such an approach lies. When you stop concentrating on the noise of your life and start focusing on something bigger, you become a catalyst for positive change. Your influence becomes much wider than you could have imagined. But it all starts with an inner look. It all starts with the decision to focus on something bigger, to develop your personal growth, and to cultivate a deep sense of meaning and purpose. Yes, it can be scary, and yes, it may feel like you're stepping into uncharted territory. But I promise you, the rewards are worth it. When you stop worrying about your daily struggles and start focusing on something bigger, you gain a freedom that many only dream of. You break the chains of limitations and self-doubt and step into the fullness of your own potential. You begin to understand that you're not defined by your past, your mistakes, or your perceived weaknesses. Rather, you're defined by the decisions you make in each moment, your vision for your life, and the courage you show in facing each new challenge. When you live from this inner strength and confidence, you inspire others to do the same. You create a wave of positive change simply by living your best life and encouraging others to follow your example. So what's stopping you from focusing on something bigger? What's holding you back from stepping into the fullness of your potential and creating the life you truly want? It might be fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or worry about what others will think. Whatever it is, it's okay. It's normal to feel fear, uncertainty, or unprepared. But also know that you have the power to overcome these fears. You have the strength and resilience to move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. When you focus on something bigger, you tap into your inner source of courage and determination. You begin to trust your own abilities, your intuition, and your inner wisdom. Fear is just an illusion, a temporary obstacle on the path to your greater self, and you pass through these fears with grace and ease, knowing that they are merely milestones on your journey to your highest potential. But it won't always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, uncertainty, or questions about whether you can handle it. In such moments, remember, you're not alone. You're part of a global community of people who are striving for more and want to live a life filled with meaning and significance. You're part of a movement of transformers and visionaries, pioneers working together to create a brighter and more beautiful world. When you connect with this sense of community and belonging, when you surround yourself with people who believe in you and support you, anything becomes possible. So let's make this promise to ourselves right now. Let's decide to focus on something bigger, no matter what life throws at us. Let's decide to be the change we want to see in the world, to live a life filled with meaning and passion, and to inspire others to do the same. And let's do it together. When you begin to overcome your challenges with wisdom and understanding, instead of acting out of fear or by reflex reaction, from this clarity you will manifest yourself in the world differently. Your communication with others will come from a place of authenticity and compassion, rather than from a place of judgment or criticism. You will create relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Focusing on something bigger not only promotes personal growth and success, but also triggers a wave of positivity and changes that extend far beyond yourself. When you stop worrying about everyday concerns and start focusing on something bigger, you become an engine of transformation in your environment. You create a positive influence that spreads much further than you could have imagined. We've discussed how to leave behind the noise of everyday life and focus on what really matters. We've talked about how this focus helps not only in achieving personal growth and success, but also triggers a wave of positive changes in your environment. When you live your life with clarity, courage, and compassion, you not only transform your own life, but also inspire others to do the same. We've also touched on the challenges that may arise on this path, doubts, fears, and uncertainties that may hold you back. But we've shown that you have the power to overcome these obstacles. By focusing on something bigger and activating your inner strength, you can overcome any difficulty and emerge from each experience even stronger. This path may not be easy, but it's worth it because it leads you to a life filled with meaning and satisfaction. If you have the courage to take this first step, I promise you that your life will never be the same again. You will not only bring your dreams to reality, but also make a lasting positive impact on the world around you. This is your chance to leave a legacy of positivity and change that will live long after you.